Hey, welcome in everyone to Dom Time. Well, 80 years plus of non-privatization of the government running the alcohol system. The sale of alcohol in Pennsylvania almost came to an end this weekend, will be taken up again in the fall. We're dissecting that and figuring out where you are, and we'd love to hear from you on the phone. Wendell Young, who represents a union that runs the state stores, is with us, and John Featherman from Philly.com is also with us. Wendell has a poll, and I've seen some of this, Wendell, and there appears to be a kind of a tepid, I think, support to get the government out of this, but people are not willing to go to the ramparts to do this. Now, my experience in New Jersey, you mean to say you think these two stores, I was comparing prices, displays, atmosphere, the need to compete, that were within a half mile, maybe even less of each other. That's not a better system for the consumer than a monolith of state stores that have no reason to compete. Who are they competing with except bordering states?
Well, I think that you were pointing out stores that are in Cape May.
Yeah.
Whether you're talking about New Jersey or any other state, I think there's some really fine stores, liquor stores we're talking about, wine and spirit stores in other states. But what's different is here in Pennsylvania, every one of our stores stocks over 1,000 items. Most stock 3,000 to 5,000 items. And every price comparison that's been done, even by newspapers who favor privatization, shows that with the exception of Delaware, our prices are better and better by more than just a little bit on most items. So when you go to a resort area or certain business travel downtown areas, you're going to find exceptional stores. The other 95% of the stores in those states don't come close to all of our stores here in Pennsylvania. So if you want to go with me on tour,
why would that be, though? You don't believe that the capitalist system, the competitive system?
Well, they're all nice buzz phrases, Don.
But isn't that true? I mean, anything else doesn't work.
All you have to do is look at Washington State, who just went through privatization, and read what the newspapers who wanted privatization are writing and have been writing for the past year. What you have is the big supermarkets carry a couple hundred items. Compared to our selection here, prices have gone up 20, 30, 40% on many items. The only reason the revenue to the state's up is because they also hose the consumers with new fees and taxes to make up for the losses to the profit.
So your contention is this the argument? If we get,
let me finish one last
If we get this bill, prices are going to go up.
Oh, there's no doubt. Every system that's privatized, prices have gone up, and all the evidence is there.
John,
it's overwhelming.
you buy that? Does that make sense?
All the evidence
Tell
is
us
that
what
the
evidence,
prices.
John.
The evidence is that the prices go down. That's what happens in New Jersey and Delaware, and that's why Philadelphians in particular go across the states and buy there when they should be buying right here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we seem to be losing a tremendous amount of revenue.
Every state that's privatized has seen price increases and never made up for the revenue lost. In terms of Delaware, everybody sitting here right now knows that it's because of the taxes. There are no retail taxes on consumer goods. And New Jersey, I'd like to comment on New Jersey.
Let me ask you, do you support the state police, is just in the news, picking people up, stopping people because they're going over the border?
First of all, that's a separate law that has nothing to do with the PLCB or privatization.
Sure it does.
No, actually it doesn't.
Why not?
Because it is a separate law. The governor is disingenuous when he runs around and tells people we have to privatize so we can stop that. That's a separate legal issue
driven,
altogether.
Isn't it, by the fact that people don't want to go to our state stores?
No, it's not. People will still go to Delaware after if privatization were to occur, unless you're going to take away all the taxes and fees in Pennsylvania, and you're not. There are no retail sales taxes or alcohol tax in Delaware. Jersey's a different story. I grew up in Philadelphia. I don't know about you guys, but I think everybody knows that, especially along the river wards of Philadelphia, many people go every day and every week over to Jersey because there's more shopping experiences there. There's more venues there to buy lots of consumer goods. The only border bleed that's in significant numbers is along that area only, and all the polls that have been done on that shows that those people that buy wine and spirits, except for a small fraction, it's because they're buying it incidental to being there anyway for other shopping they're already doing.
I doubt that. But
so let's talk about the facts according to President Young. He is running right now statewide a commercial that shows a young girl at a coffin. And at the coffin, it says that Pennsylvania is actually the safest state with respect to DWI. So I did some research on that. And I contacted MAD. And what did MAD tell me? And we wrote this in Philly.com last week. You read the piece? They said we are the 15th most dangerous state in the country for alcohol. So how can we believe one thing that we are being told by President Young when they lied in that commercial and said that Pennsylvania was the safest state?
You can respond.
We are the 15th most dangerous.
I will, and John, I have a lot of respect for a lot of your positions here. With this one, you've actually misstated what our commercial says. Our commercial doesn't say anything about DUI. What we being the safest in DUI, what it says is Pennsylvania has the lowest death rate associated with alcohol consumption in the nation. That is true.
What does that mean, associated with alcohol consumption?
People die of alcohol many different ways. Some of them in car crashes, some the victims of people who were drunk in cars, some because of crapped out livers and all kinds of things. Some
let's talk about that,
Some
though.
because they fall off the roof of a building after drinking.
That's their fault, though.
But regardless of it's their fault, some injured by others who were drunk, not in a car. So there's lots of ways people die and are die related to that. Some disease, some accident, some car crashes. Our statistic is accurate. It's not only backed by the CDC and the National Vital Statistics for decades here in Pennsylvania.
But I'm trying to get what statistic is it, though?
But MAD, who John just referred to, when asked about this very commercial, said it's true, the facts are correct. Now, what John's talking about is DUI accidents. Pennsylvania has the highest number of both on-site and off-site for on-site and off-site consumption of wine, beer, and spirits locations of any of our border states. And when scientists who study this stuff adjust for age demographics, drive distances, drive times from home and work, what they say is Pennsylvania has one of the best DUI rates compared to our neighboring states and most other states in the nation.
And why would
if you
that
want to
be?
take, if you want to take raw statistics,
why would that be?
Because we also have amongst the lowest consumption per capita of wine and spirits.
So this is what gets me pretty upset, and I'm the host here, though. You're saying we're not adults because some guy drinks too much, has cirrhosis of the liver, or falls off a ladder, that I can't buy alcohol in a store. In a supermarket.
No, actually, that's
But
not
Wendell,
what I
that's
said.
the
I think you're
position,
changing
though.
what I said.
That's the essence of it, I think.
There are many ways people die related to alcohol, including the victims of others who are under the influence.
Okay.
So there are many ways, not just in a DUI
So
in a car.
alcohol is the enemy here, so we're back to prohibition.
No, I just said, I stated in my commercial a simple fact, that Pennsylvania has the lowest death rate associated with alcohol consumption. I think that's a good thing for Pennsylvania. I don't know why John would want that number to go up.
John, go ahead.
This is fear-mongering at its absolute worst. That commercial should have never been run. It shows a young girl next to a casket and implies that if we have a free market, that people are going to die.
Well,
guess what?
And
We
I would
want
agree.
children.
Wendell, I think your point about pricing and all that, that's a good point to debate. Isn't this dirty pool?
No,
Aren't
it's
we
not. No, it's
adults?
not dirty pool.
We're back to the you're making a
because,
prohibition
Dom,
argument.
there have been dozens of studies submitted by evidence that were done by independent researchers, doctors, and scientists in the CDC that shows that with privatization, you have an increase in consumption, a significant increase in consumption, and there are those same studies show with an increase in consumption comes many other problems associated with alcohol, some of which include more people die. Now that may be an unpleasant fact, but it's a fact.
All right.
And people don't like to hear it, but it's true.
All right, we'll take more with Wendell and John. We'll take some of your calls here as Dom Time continues.